find it really hard to tell people how I'm truly feeling inside. And even sometimes I can't find words to tell people how I'm feeling inside. You know, it's that word catharsis, isn't it? It's making something personal, putting things I can't explain, and just channeling them into movement.
Fallen angels kind of found me kind of discarded and thrown to one side and placed me in a different kind of elevated situation where now I'm not around crackheads. You know, I'm a dancer, I'm a performer, I'm a successful performer.
Your life gets better without taking drugs in it. You know, you get the confidence back to do whatever you want to try. Disability doesn't stop me anymore.
The future did not look optimistic, it looked bleak. But with the gift of hindsight, I'm able to look at those experiences and realise that every experience that I had has led me to the point that I am now. And it's the culmination of all of those experiences that has created this immense richness that I'm now able to draw upon and to put into my work and my performance. And I think as a performer, it's so valuable to have those lived experiences.
I was just completely blown away by the performance. It was like watching 10 years of someone's therapy just be unfold in dance. It was just incredible.
It had a narrative to it and it told a story and it was totally engaging.
It was just so raw and genuine, and it just touched me.
Through every piece that I see tonight, I cried my eyes out. Like I was holding back tears and then I just let them go.
Such an expressive use of their time and performance. It's really powerful for the audience as well as for the people that are in recovery too.
I'm in recovery and I don't mind saying it, you know. I know where they were coming from the performance. I understood the movements and I know what it's like to be in that dark place. So for me, it was extremely emotional.
We're not talking about acting here, we're talking about drawing upon actual experiences and emotions and the process of going from addicted to in recovery.
What I'm going to take away from this performance is knowing that something like dance or just creativity in general is a form of therapy and healing, and it's not conventional and it's not clinical, but it's every bit as effective, and knowing that is something I want to lean on for the rest of my life.
So just a couple of individual comments. I'd love to know what the biggest thing that you've learned or the biggest thing you're going to take away from this experience and this project.
Opening up to new changes, trying new things, changing our behaviours, and you've got to try new things, and it's lovely, the amount of love, the amount of caring, and everybody's clean, and it's just fresh, and it's beautiful, man, it's lovely.
I've learned to just believe in myself, and I've got a new family, and I love you all so much. You've had the best 2 weeks of my life, so thank you.
For me, that's probably the first time in my whole life I didn't have to wear a mask, to be honest. I can just be myself, even though I enjoy it, I'm not ashamed to. So I worry about what people think, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's been amazing, and I will be staying on call.
One of the dancers talks about meeting their younger self on the beach, and I just thought that was incredible because we've not all had an experience like that, but we'd all like to have an experience like that where we got to revisit our past, so to speak. So actually seeing that unfold through the performance was most moving.
Do you know what, I've had that many special moments, but I think the one that stands out for me is when I wrote my poem. And I just wrote it one night while I was in bed, and I thought it's nothing special, and you know, I took it to the group next day and I read it out to the group, and people had tears in their eyes, and I was like, oh my God. She glanced up at me and it broke my heart. She looked so sad and lost, I didn't know what to say to her or where to even start. I held out my hand to her, she held onto it tight. I just wanted to tell her it was all be alright. I started by telling her she was no longer alone. She didn't have to worry anymore on her own. I understood the loneliness, the fear and the pain. She didn't need to ever feel scared again. I told her life would be good, but sometimes really sad. People would come and go in life, some good, some really bad. Lots of people would say they care, but when it mattered, would they really be there?
The poetry and the readings have inspired the movement and the sounds that came out in today's session, today's rehearsal session. So my approach is very much taking those words, abstracting them and creating sounds to be able to feed back to the session so that we can feel connected to the text, to the words, to the feelings and emotions of the people in the session.
I actually combined 2 poems into one. So the first part of my poem, I just remember the place I was in when I wrote that, and it wasn't a very nice place. I was isolated, alone, and just basically pretty suicidal and wanting to die basically. And just comparing it to now, I feel so connected. I feel like I've got a support network. I love coming here. It's the highlight of my whole week.
Losing touch with what was real, I loved the way drugs made me feel. Confident and full of ideas, I forgot about all of my fears. They hid the discomfort I felt in my skin and my dislike of the person within. But soon obsession began to linger. Addiction wrapped me around its finger, increasing the noise in my critical brain, faster and faster like a runaway train. It tried me on like a new pair of clothes, then ushered me down an endless road, promising me a piece of past perfection. So I followed without any objection. White powder covered the land, sucking me up like sinking sand. Tied to the floor, completely trapped, in a prison cell I'd unconsciously mapped. Now when I fall to my knees, I don't have to hope that somebody sees. And a beautiful life is taking shape. Now I no longer have to escape. Learning to love the simple things, accepting myself and what life brings. Recovery has now begun, full of love and light and fun.
First of all, it is amazing being able to share that experience, because it's hard to convey how horrible the experience was. Just that the isolation, I think, was the worst bit. But it's so nice just now, feeling the connection with other people.
It's finding the synergy between the movement and the music, so it's not one or the other. And then I can score different people as they're moving. I can pick up on their movement. We had a breath. We had a quite mechanical rhythm. We had a pad that was ticking slowly and a clock. So we had 4 or 5 different rhythms working at the same time, and the dancers were working on, they picked out the rhythm. They just heard it, they felt it. I was shaking coming out of the room.
Time after time, I kept on falling.
Death was ringing its alarm bell.
All alone, trying to solve the riddle.
I don't have to hope ringing its alarm bell.
Sees.
Death
All alone,
was ringing
trying to
its
solve
alarm
the riddle.
bell.
My mind's
I
been
don't
filled
have
with
to hope that
pleasure.
somebody sees.
Soon obsession began to linger.
The new thing that we've done, we've really reached out to other communities, recovery communities. So we're working with Spider, who are based in Birkenhead, who are like a recovery arts centre.
I'm Angela, and I've come over here from Birkenhead. I live over at the Wirral, and I go attend the Spider Project. The Spider Project is inclusive of those in addiction, whether it be drugs or alcohol, but also they promote health and well-being for mental health. This is me meeting a challenge of getting out the house and including myself in something different and fighting really the mental health condition I've got, because I've got bipolar disorder, and also continuing on in the recovery that I've started. Me personally, I'm taking a lot away from this because, you know, I'm still in shock because I was only coming to a workshop group for a week. And I thought, oh, that'll be cool, even though it was hard for me to get out the door and the challenge. But honestly, I'm here and I'm doing it. And I feel as if I've grown and lifted through the love and support from everybody. You know, Paul, his wife, the whole team, the professional dancers have been second to none. They've been so kind. It's just been amazing. Thank you.
The Tom Harrison guys have just blown me away. First time they've done any movement before, and they've just got it, you know. And like yesterday, our audiences were in tears, you know. And because when I go to the theatre or go and see a film, I want to be moved like that. Do you know what I mean?
I think one of the most powerful moments of today has been when we watched yous and just the emotion on your faces. It was just, I felt it. I had tears coming down my face.
You guys never done anything like that before. Total respect, getting out your comfort zone, getting up and smashing it as well. I totally respect you because you get in the zone as well, and I love that kind of thing. We have banter and we have a laugh, but the work's serious, and it's nice to work, you know what I mean, on that, in that line. So
I was really moved by the Tom Harrison guys. You know, I thought that your performance was really powerful, and we were talking amongst ourselves about what we thought we were seeing, and with the music and the way it was all slow motion and stuff, we were kind of imagining you guys being like on the front lines or something, or in the trenches, and it was really powerful. That's just what our minds were projecting, but we were like just imagining you in service and stuff, and I was thinking about like your bravery, like your courage, not just in tackling dance, but in terms of what you've tackled in your life, you know. And that's a really humbling thing to be in the presence of that. Like, you guys have literally fought for our country. So to be in the presence of that is a really humbling experience. So I'm really happy that you're here.
My name's Andy. I was 5 years Royal Navy. Weapons.
I'm ex-paratrooper. I'm an addict and alcoholic, and I'm just in treatment with Tom Harrison House.
I was in the Royal Green Jackets, yeah, the 1st Battalion, yeah. I did 10 years in the Royal Green Jackets. Did 4 operational tours.
I was 473 Battery, which is 473 Battery is a special piece for the Royal Artillery.
I mean, I love being in the services, but being away for me really sort of took its toll for a couple of years. Coming to the end, I ended up getting medically discharged. You know, 1 minute I was in the Navy, I went to a medical board, next minute I was out. Literally 20 minutes after I'd been in this board, I was sat on a train. That sort of maybe started off problems that I started to have.
My son is in the performance. Andy.
Okay,
Yeah.
This type of thing will open people's eyes. You know, I've got my parents coming tomorrow on Thursday. I've got my wife, I've got my brothers, and I'm hoping that that'll get across to them in this, to say, look, listen, you know, he's not just doing this because he wants to. He's got to the point where that's all he knew. And now we can fix it.
I get quite emotional.
So we ask you to write down.
Just get me son back. Sorry, yeah.
What was the words that you wrote on it?
Get him back. Back to living. Because he's not living at the moment, he's just existing. So that's what I look forward to.
Yeah, love, I chose. Solely because the only reason I'm sat here today was because of love. Caused a lot of hurt, pain to a lot of people. And without that, I wouldn't, I wouldn't be sat here today.
It's been a big transition. I never ever thought I would end up in rehab. It's unfortunate, but it had to be done. I hit rock bottom, and I had to sort it out, and now I'm doing that to the best of my ability.
I came back from Afghanistan and I started drinking heavy. Didn't realise it was a problem until I had a car accident, fractured my skull. After that, every time I drank, I always got in trouble, fighting or blackouts. When you come out of the army, you were isolated. The things you've experienced in life or in war, you couldn't relate to someone who's in a civilian.
The boundaries are broken down straight away because you all have something in common, not just the addiction, but the services.
There's a lot of love, and we know our darkest secrets together.
Recovery, we do a lot of work on the mind, but not necessarily the physical side of recovery. And I think what movement does, it kind of opens up certain pain memories from the past and allows us to move forward. So the physical change affects the mental change as well, rather than just focusing on the, you know, like group work and counselling on and one-to-ones.
My personality insists of a mask to help me complete my ultimate task. Drugs make me feel like flying, but inside I feel like dying. Nothing can stop me, not even love, not even the big man from above. I hate my life, I can't stop lying. I sit alone all day crying. Now I'm in recovery, I feel strong. I tell my family there's nothing wrong. If I choose recovery, I will live. If I choose to use, the outcome is death.
It's a much bigger, you know, event and a much bigger kind of statement that we're all making together about something we all know about, each in our own separate individual kind of way, but also collectively. When this show actually happens, we will all be making the true statement of really addiction. And not only a statement, but a solution as well, and that's the key to it.
Addiction is not just selfish people going out to do something they just want to do. Maybe that is how it starts, but once you get to the point that the majority of, or should I say all of us got to, it's uncontrollable, and until you know how to deal with it, or till you understand it, which is what I think this is trying to point out, trying to understand what addiction is and how we need help to get through it. That is so misunderstood.
All the pain from the past is just, it's not being worth it, but it's like, I can deal with it. It's made me like who I am today, and it's put me where I am today, and I'm really proud, and just being here and getting up and dancing in front of people is a massive achievement for me.
Sometimes when we reach a real obstacle or a low point in our lives, we can perceive it to be like a breakdown, but it's sort of taking a different perspective and actually realizing that it's a breakthrough, because it can take those real dark moments to be the catalyst to create profound change in your life.
Yeah, I can get it, yeah.
Why did you choose the word peace?
Peaceful person. Seen so much war through time in the army.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy the show.
Sweet, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.